lot of sense. Yeah. And
What is this?
I think that's the hope. That's like the CPS. I know. They know what they're doing. They think they do.
Oh. So I'm reading this and I'm like, I said, who's leaving? And it said,
They haven't told you you're leaving yet?
not
Oh, we're
yet.
having a concert for your departure.
You know, I'm like, what is that? I'm like, what?
Who's leaving?
I had never heard of them. Are you familiar with Departure?
I'm not, but I've heard they're really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Journey tribute. You just made my day.
Oh, y'all are so sweet.
Isn't that great?
Oh, yeah, I get to frame it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
That is good.
I forgot. Oh, I forgot to. I will. It is. No. So I said the full amount. They didn't give me the full amount. That's why I was like, we're showing at 12,000. They don't look at me. So I told them they need to give me the full amount. Yeah, because I'm like, why am I paying money? So I asked them. They said, oh, because we only gave you the 7. Have you did any the same? I told them. Okay, I got you. Okay. This is the letter.
Yeah. You got 2 minutes.
We'll call to order the Douglasville City Council regular voting meeting for tonight, which is Monday, April the 20th, 2026. Our invocation will be done by Reverend Brian Berryhill of Heritage Baptist Church, and then the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by the Mayor Pro Tem City Councilmember Terry Miller. Please stand for the invocation.
Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, we come to you again tonight. Thankful, Lord, for another opportunity to call on your name. Thankful, Lord, for this opportunity to open up in a word of prayer. Thankful for our community and, Lord, all of the city council, our mayor, Lord, everybody that's in leadership roles. Lord, I pray for them tonight. Pray for, Lord, our law enforcement, Lord, for first responders and all those in our community. I pray that your hand would be upon each one of them. Put a hedge of protection about them. And, Lord, I pray for wisdom and knowledge, Lord, tonight, and discernment, Lord, to make right decisions, Lord, for the betterment of our community. We ask you to do all this. In Jesus' name we humbly pray. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem, for leading us in the pledge, and Pastor Berryhill, we appreciate you coming in and doing the invocation for us. Welcome this evening. My name is Rochelle Robinson. I'm mayor of the city of Douglasville. I'd like to welcome you to the Douglasville's regular voting meeting for tonight. This is a city council regular meeting of agenda items where official action will be taken tonight on those agenda items that were discussed last Thursday at our legislative work session. If the business you're here for is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time under the agenda item comments from citizens and delegates section for you to discuss your business. I'll go over a few protocol items as I did last week so that we'll all be on the same page. I ask that you please keep your comments and presentations on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. You will receive a warning from the chair if that happens. If you deviate from that requirement, a second deviation will result in a request for you to leave the chambers. Only one person speaking at a time. When you come to the podium, please do not applaud, react to the speaker, speak from the audience, carry on a conversation, turn around, talk to the people in the back. Just present all of your information and concerns to myself or council members or the chair of that particular committee. We're only required to accept public comments during the public hearings, and if you have a cell phone or electronic device, I ask that you'll please put those in silent mode or power those off until after the meeting. Now, this is how the agenda items will be handled this evening. The committee chairperson will read his or her agenda item. Then that person representing that particular item or applicant will make his or her presentation. We will hear the information. Myself and council members will possibly ask clarifying questions to help us make a determination before the vote. Tonight is a voting meeting, so action will be taken on those items tonight. We'll either vote to pass it, deny, or take no action, or we could table it as well. Prior to coming to the podium, there is a speaker form that you can fill out outside on the desk. We ask that you please fill that information out. It goes into the official record. It's your name, address for the record. You'll hand that speaker form to our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker, to my right with the beautiful Russ jacket on. And then you come to the podium, give us your name and address, and then you have 5 minutes to talk to us about any business germane to the city of Douglasville, unless you're presenting, and you do have more time to do that. If it's a public hearing, we'll have people, if those are in favor of the public hearing, we'll have those that are in favor and those in opposition. Each side gets 20 minutes. So the ones in favor, 20 minutes in totality. Each person talks for 5 minutes. The ones who are in opposition, you get 20 minutes. Each person can talk for 5 minutes, and then we'll move on. All printed material should be submitted to our city clerk, and she will disseminate that information, make copies, and disseminate it to us. Now, we will not accept comments that should have been handled in the public hearing for zoning matters during the comments from citizens and delegates. When we'll address zoning items that should have been discussed during the public hearing for citizens' comments. that is allowing these comments outside the public hearing violates the Georgia State Zoning Procedures Act. That's a whole lot of information. Hopefully, we're all on the same page, and we understand and we don't have any questions. If you'd like to have a printed agenda, they're outside, or you can follow us on the screen. So now we'll move on. And we are at, that was item 4, which were the announcements and presentations. Now we are at item number 5, which is approval of the agenda. I will open the floor for a motion for adoption of the regular meeting agenda for tonight, which is April 20th, 2026.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. I have a motion to adopt the agenda. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. It's been properly moved in second by Councilmember Estes, second Councilmember Davis, for the adoption of the regular meeting for the agenda, which is tonight's agenda, April 20th, 2026. Do we see any comments, concerns, questions, or any kind of statements from council? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving item 26-089, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 26-089 is approved, and the adoption of the minutes stand to move forward. Now we will open the floor for adoption of the minutes of April 2nd, 2026, which were inclusive of the committee's meeting, legislative work session, and the minutes from April 6, 2026 of the committee's regular meeting and executive session. So there are minutes from April 2nd and April 6, 2026, which is item 26-090. Open the floor for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. May I have a second, please?
Second.
I had dueling seconds. Who do we get, Ms. Clerk? Mr. Davis, okay. It's been properly moved in second, moved by Councilmember Estes, second by Councilmember Davis, to approve item 26-090. Council members, do you see any corrections, any deletions, or any concerns as relates to these minutes that we read before the meeting? No. All right. All those in favor of approving item 26-090, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The minutes are unanimously approved. Now I'll open the floor for item number 7, motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I heard Mayor Pro Tem. So open the floor. We have it's properly moved in second, moved by Councilmember Estes, second by Mayor Pro Tem, to approve the consent agenda as presented. We have several items there. Do we have any questions, concerns, comments? Anyone want to pull anything out from the consent agenda from council? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The consent agenda is approved. So now we'll move on to item number 10. Wait a minute. I'm not at 10. The consent agenda is 7. We're going to item number 8. Lots of items. Economic Development Committee, that's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem City Councilmember Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Economic Development Committee at this time.
Thank you so much. We'll go to Finance Committee, and the Vice Chair for Finance is Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We
You're
have
welcome.
a couple of items this evening.
Yes, sir.
First up, item 26-129, authorize the mayor to sign an executive leasing listing agreement with McAllen Real Estate LLC for broker services for the lease of 1745 Wortham Road, Douglasville, Georgia, 30134. And we will hear from Deputy Chief Davidson and probably Ms. Jordan as well.
All righty.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Madam Mayor, and members of council. Miranda Jordan, Staff Attorney, 6758 Spring Street. And this item was discussed at our public budget meeting on last Thursday. There is a property that the city acquired off of Wortham Road that is located near the county's fire training facility and near the sheriff's training facility as well. And that property was acquired for the purpose of, in the future, building a police driving training facility. Due to our relationship with the broker that assisted us with acquiring that property at the end of last year, the broker reached out to the city and proposed a potential tenant partner for that property in its existing vacant state. And so based on that arrangement that was made through our broker, city staff is asking council to approve an exclusive listing agreement with McAllen Real Estate for those broker services that were provided to procure the next item, item B on this agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. Deputy Chief, do you have anything to add?
No, sir, not about this item.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Madam Mayor and Council, we did discuss this last Thursday during our meetings. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Seeing none, I would make a motion to approve item 26-129.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice Chair. I have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please? Thank you, Councilmember Hudson. It's been properly moved in second, moved by Councilmember Estes, Vice Chair, to approve, and second by Councilmember Hudson to approve item 26-129. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns for the Vice Chair or for Attorney Jordan or Deputy Chief? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 26-129 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Our next item is number 26-130. Authorize the mayor to sign a land lease with Flock Group, Inc. for the leasing of 151 acres at 1745 Wortham Road, Douglasville, Georgia, 30134, for the rental amount of $240,000 annually. I suspect Deputy Chief Davidson might have something to add on this.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mayor, Council. This agreement is a lease to Flock Safety for them to do some testing of drone technology. And in return, they're going to pay us $240,000 a year. They're also going to tear down and remove a dilapidated barn on the property that we have no use for, as well as maintain the property by mowing twice a year. And they'll be paying for all of their utilities. So while the land is not being utilized by us, we feel like this is a good opportunity for us to join in partnership with them.
Thank you, Deputy Chief. I agree. This is a great way for us to get a little bit of revenue in on this land until the time comes when we can construct the driving training course and even possibly beyond that. And we have worked with the Flock Group for years, so we're already familiar with them and they with us. Any comments or questions from Madam Mayor or Council?
I had a question.
Okay,
Mr.
Madam
Chair.
Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Chief. I appreciate the report. And I know we did say that, I'm not certain the time frame, but when we start the driving facility, there may be a shared opportunity as well, but this would not prevent us from moving forward with our endeavors to have a driving safety facility for the public safety.
That's correct. They've expressed that they want to be long-term partners and utilize some of the property even once we begin with our driver's training facility, and they'll make arrangements to move wherever we need them to.
Very good. So a wave of the future with Flock cameras. So this is a great partnership. Thank you so much, Deputy Chief. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Seeing that this is a win-win, I would like to make a motion to approve item 26-130.
Thank you so much. Councilman Estes, I have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please? Second. Thank you, Councilman Davis. It's been properly moved in second, moved by Councilmember Estes and second Councilmember Davis to approve item 26-130. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or concerns from council? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 26-130 is approved.
And thank you, Madam Mayor. That is all we have for the Finance Committee this evening.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice Chair. Appreciate you taking that committee. We'll move on then to Housing and Community Affairs Committee, chaired by Councilmember Elena Hudson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Housing and Community Affairs Committee this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee, chaired by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee at this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Personnel and Organization Committee, Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you again, Madam Mayor. We have no business this evening for the Personnel and Organization Committee.
Thank you, sir. We do have business under Planning and Development Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am, we do have a couple of items this evening. Our first is item number 26-114. Says to consider a request for a change in zoning from GC, General Commercial District, to PRD, Planned Residential Development District, for 4.7 acres located on 7061 Arbor Parkway in Land Lot 160, District 2, Section 5, Parcel ID 0080. Application by Pivotal Housing Partners. Hello, Mr. Gray.
Hey, Dana Gray, 6758 Spring Street. I do have an update of a question that was asked regarding the fire lanes. I talked with fire today, and they are okay with the site plan.
Okay.
And then I had an update, code went out to check on the reserve, and basically, it's pretty clean, but they're under the guise that when someone moves, or maybe perhaps someone is evicted, then you will get that kind of trash that's, of course, like a sofa, a refrigerator, things of that nature, and they do remove it pretty quickly. So I actually went by there today, and it was pretty clean over there, so.
Okay. I appreciate you doing that. I really do. And so we do have the fire department's approval on
Yes.
the fire lanes, the development plan, and also the building height.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, wonderful. Madam Mayor, Council, did you have any questions of Mr. Gray before we have the applicant come down?
Mayor, you want to go? I do.
Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't sure what that meant. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm not sure I'll have many questions for Mr. Gray. I just want to make some comments about the presentation and some of the information that we were given. There is one particular bit of information that hit me as a little peculiar that I wanted to make a point of, and if maybe it's something we can get information on between now and the next, we'll get into that when the next thing will be, but it was pointed out that the average age of the residents was 80 years old, which struck me as a little high. I think that it would be preferable to use the statistic, what is the median age? The average, if I walk into an empty bar and Bill Gates walks into that empty bar after me, the average income in that bar is about $200 million. So that's not necessarily a good statistic. Median simply means that the equal number of people are above that number as below that number, and that's what I think would be a more useful statistic. We talked about a number of stipulations, and I think Madam Chair might have these written down, I hope, or at least our staff does. One of the items that we had talked about was if this is to be approved, that we would like to see a police substation located in this development. That would include a full-time access, 24/7 access to some sort of community room. Doesn't mean that we're stationing an officer in there full-time. It just simply means that an officer has access to a desk and a phone or coffee pot, whatever, that they can pull off and be there at whatever time they may need to be there. The developer had offered to build a raised crosswalk at that point that would connect to the sidewalk, the existing sidewalk on the other side. They also offered to build a sidewalk that would connect to the commercial properties that are located behind, but that would go along Arbor Parkway and connect to the access road that leads up to those. One other thing that was mentioned that I would like to include is, I don't know off the top of my head what our lighting ordinances are, but I think they did mention that the light fixtures that they would use would not spread beyond a certain angle, which limits the amount of light pollution. So I would like us to stipulate that that the developer, if approved, that they use light poles and fixtures that will minimize any potential light pollution. And they do exist. It's a matter of how they're focusing light directly down rather than out, like a lot of older fixtures do. I do want to say something, though, about the development in general, because I know that we have a property here that sits in the midst of our neighborhood that right now is dilapidated. And I think that most everybody can agree in our community that we would like to eliminate dilapidated properties. And so if this is an opportunity to create a development that is far superior, even if, whether it's whether it's a downgrade of the zoning or not, I'll just say this, I care deeply about my neighborhood. And I know that everybody else who lives in Arbor Station cares deeply about it too. And we live in a city, in a community, in a state, in a country that respects private property. When you have the right to develop your property within the zoning parameters that allow that. You can do pretty much whatever you want. But you do not have a right to change that zoning to what you want it to be. That is a right given to you by the city. And so if we vote to give you that right, our forbearance will be limited, and we will watch you. Our community will watch very carefully what you do and how you develop that property. And we expect nothing but the highest quality, not just in Arbor Station, but citywide. And so this is a very important decision. It's not an easy decision for the council to make. But we want the absolute best quality product. I hate that term, but you guys like to use that term. Product. It's a building. If you're going to build it, I expect it to last a long time and kept in top-notch condition. So, and then find out what that median age is for the residents, not the average age. But that being said, I think that I think we will benefit as a community with a building that is used by citizens and the community, and also has the availability for the police as well, rather than sitting and having a dilapidated, empty property that is vandalized on a regular basis, that is used by teenagers to, I won't say what, but those are my
Thank you, Mayor
thoughts.
Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
That was more than a question. Okay. Were there any questions of Mr. Gray before I asked the applicant to come down? Okay. Mr. Gray, if I can go ahead and add on to that list of conditions, because I did have those conditions written down, but I also just wanted to verify, do we need to put a condition in place that this will be 55 and up in the actual zoning?
You can to hold them to it, yes.
Yes, okay. Then I would like that condition in there as well. And also, it was brought up last week about the number of handicap parking spots, and so I would like to have that conversation as well, to if 6 handicap spaces for the entire development is adequate, because I'm not sure.
They offered 10,
Okay,
if I remember correctly, yeah.
okay. That is an improvement to 6. Do we have an ordinance that helps us to, or a formula for the number of handicap spaces that are needed for a development like this?
We do.
And does that meet the need at 10?
I think it exceeds it, but I think it exceeds it, but I
Even
definitely
though
can
it's
check on that.
Okay. I think just in my mind, I thought that for a handicap, especially if you tell me that your median age is 80, I'm pretty certain that every person there would need a handicap space. So I just wanted to make sure that we were adhering to the clientele that they will be seeking. Okay. Okay. All right. With that being said, would the applicant like to come down and give us any updates?
Hello, everyone. I'm Charlie Pendergraft with Pivotal Housing Partners. Address is 693 Glenwood Avenue, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia, 30312.
Thank you. And did you have any updates for us other than what Mr. Gray just went over?
I don't believe so. I appreciate the words from Mayor Pro Tem Miller. Of course, we're going to do everything we can, and I appreciate the challenge, and I do take it very seriously, and we will be involved in this development the entire time from, over the next 50 years, so.
Okay. So if we do move forward with this, are you in agreement with these conditions of the PD substation or whatever, precinct, thank you, being there, the raised crosswalk, the lighting, to make sure that the lighting, and staff, I may need some help with the verbiage for that as well, to make sure that the lighting does not exceed, how do you measure
It is
lighting?
direct down lighting on the property. No light spillage or pollution.
Okay,
beyond the property boundary.
55 and up on that zoning, so that could not be anything else, and then the additional handicap spots to bring that up to 10.
Yes, we are okay with that.
Okay. Thank you. Madam Mayor and Council, do we have questions of the applicant? Madam Mayor?
I do. Thank you so much, Madam Chairman. Thank you so much for coming back this evening. I did look up that you had a failing grade for a Better Business Bureau, but it seemed like it was in mitigating circumstances. Maybe you did not respond to the poll or the questionnaire. Can you just explain why your company had a failing grade?
You know, just subjectively speaking, you know, we do have 10,000 units in our portfolio. You do get complaints from time to time, and we do address them very quickly. We're also bound by, in our business, we're bound by rules and regulations that the government makes us do in regards to our funding in terms of inspections and quality control. I'm not really sure what the nature of those complaints were. I wasn't around at the time personally as well, but I do know that that we internally strive to be a good company. So I'm not sure.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. That's all I had.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Frazier.
I would just advise council to make certain that we verify with legal the language on what we're stating about this public safety location, because precinct, all of those things mean different things. So by the time the development gets developed, I wouldn't want something to get held up because of interpretation of what a precinct is and what that might mean to the residents who would be in that district, potentially expecting that it would be manned. I mean, we may not get to development for another year or two.
I think my understanding was that it would be that the PD would have access to like a key fob so that they could come in when needed for, you know, grab a cup of coffee, say hello, because of course I think that we all are under the understanding now that our police officers' precinct is their cars. But as we've used that before, I feel like it's a tool and it was really helpful in other developments just to have that presence.
I think we can, I'm assuming that we have some sort of written agreement with Tributary, because I think that we can model it on what has been done down Tributary, where the police have access to that, to a community room there.
I'm not certain that we have a written agreement, but the deputy chief can address that.
Okay.
We don't have any written agreement with Tributary. It's just an opportunity that an officer can go there. Obviously, we can't make any guarantees about the number of times officers will be there. It's all dependent on staffing and calls for service.
And I think that's the understanding here. So yeah, if we can have it written in a way, whatever the language require, whatever the nomenclature is, as long as it's written such that the officers have access 24/7, doesn't mean they're staffing it, obviously. Nobody's expecting that. But being able to have access 24, having their own key card or fob access or whatever to get into the community room so they can be there at their availability.
Assumption that you wouldn't have any city equipment.
No.
In that on a permanent basis, there won't be anything down there that has to be safeguarded.
No, there's no equipment that we would need in there. Their computers are in their cars. And we will run into the same issue we have before with a key fob, is we have 80, officers. There's 40, over 50 on patrol. And so it becomes difficult sometimes we don't want to be responsible for key fobs that can get out. So access control is an issue would have to be solved later.
Don't we have a key to the city that goes into every lock?
I think Councilman Estes had something to add.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was the one who initiated having the precinct at Tributary. Gosh, it's got to be at least 10 years ago, probably 15. There is not any expectation of staffing. We actually we have card key accesses at all of our facilities, and we had a lockbox placed on the outside of our tennis center that has a card key in it, and you access that with a code. If an officer goes there and wants to get in, they call in to find out what the current code is. They can then get the card key out, go inside, use the restroom, whatever they're there for, and it has worked beautifully. And it also gives us the advantage of being able to track how often it's being used by the card key. So it's worked very, very well for us and has solved a lot of problems. So I'm sure there is a way to work this out for this development. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I guess my question then would be for legal. How can you guys help us with that condition so that it puts it in there into a way that the details can be worked out later? Can we do that in ordinance? Or I mean, in the condition?
The only caution I would give is the example of the zoning ordinance that you all passed a number of years ago, approximately 2021, for Starlight Homes, which is the Van Sant Road property. There was a, I think, intentionally left vague condition about cameras in the community. And this was a condition that caused the developer to have to come back before council in 2024 to rezone the property to remove that condition or to adjust that. So I would just give a little pause to whether that needs to be an actual zoning condition or if that is something that the police department can work individually with this developer on an agreement or an access agreement for those purposes.
So can we have a condition then that the police department will work with the developer to come up with some type of plan? Or is that even worth the additional ink on the paper?
Let me ask you this in front of that. Security. We still have, there's still going to be a development plan submitted for our approval, correct? On this project or no?
Yes.
Okay, would that be preferable to have that as a stipulation within the development plan that allow you to work out the language between now and then on that stipulation? Does that make sense?
If that is something that our community development and police departments are comfortable with dealing with on a separate basis, then that would be appropriate.
I think the question also, Ms. Jordan, to address, which I don't necessarily know if it's the case, that you could deny the permit on the basis that they wouldn't agree to that stipulation. So I would suggest that, as Ms. Jordan is mentioning, if the developer is willing, and this is something we can do in advance to deal with an access agreement, to her point, tying it to zoning could cause you issues down the road.
Okay.
It's a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, so in other words, better to deal with it now than down that. Okay.
So we're not going to put it in the zoning stipulations.
Understood. I appreciate that. Were there any additional questions or thoughts on this? Okay. I know that we had a lot of healthy conversation about this last week and a lot of additional follow-ups and readings and studyings. And I can say as a Douglasville native, I've watched the community grow and change, and I've watched that site sit vacant and dilapidated and now falling in for the last, I believe, about 15 years. I was telling someone earlier today that in my day job as realtor, I showed that property several years ago. It may have been 8-10 years ago, I'm not even sure now. And it just was not even, it was so far gone that it could not be saved. And I do feel that, in my professional opinion, that this is the highest and best use for this property. And I feel that it will bring the community up with the proper conditions in place. So with that said, I make a motion that we approve item number 26-114 with the conditions of the raised crosswalk, the 55 and up classification, the handicap parking at 10, and the lighting turned down. Am I saying that properly?
The properly angled downlighting that causes no light pollution beyond the borders of the property.
Thank you,
How's
Mayor.
that for simple language?
Okay,
Down lighting.
my motion.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve item 26-114 with the special stipulations that the chairperson read into the record. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second by Councilmember Miller N. as the chair, and second by Councilmember Estes to approve item 26-114 with the special stipulations that were read. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or concerns from council?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I think.
Yes, sir.
The sidewalk to leading to the commercial access, I don't think you mentioned that, did you?
I did not. Do I need to reread the whole thing, don't I?
No, I would ask us to add that to the stipulations.
Okay, so then if we can please add to those conditions, the sidewalk that gives access to the commercial buildings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, commercial businesses.
Thank you so much. So we amended the motion, to add another special stipulation on the ones that were already read, to add the sidewalks as well. So sidewalks, downlighting, raised beds, and parking spaces in 55 and older.
Yes, ma'am.
So those are all the special stipulations. Do we have any additional comments or questions? Yes, ma'am, City Manager.
I hate to be a bug, but to clarify on the sidewalks, are you requesting that the sidewalks not be private when you're saying have commercial access?
The sidewalk that would be located to the commercial access point of the commercial properties adjacent to it. It would run along the street.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be a private sidewalk. It would just be mirror the sidewalk that's on the other side
Okay.
of Arbor Parkway.
All right. Ms. Jordan, did you get clarification on that?
The proposed language is sidewalks to be installed to access the Arbor Square Shopping Center.
That's what she said.
Thank you.
So they will meet all of our requirements and special whatever from the city.
That would be a land use related condition that would be enforced at the development plan stage.
Okay, so they won't have like cobblestone sidewalks or ones that are pink or something. It'll be what the city requires. Okay.
No
All
pink
right.
sidewalks.
Yes, sir. Any other comments or questions? Thank you, City Manager, for that clarity.
I just want to question and just make sure that won't require an easement from the commercial next door. I believe when we discussed it, it was to the extent that we would not need one, correct?
The easement from the shopping plaza?
Correct, yes. Okay, all right, thank you. Just wanted to clarify.
All right. Did you hear, City Manager?
I do hear his question. I'm just making certain you all understand what he's asking, to not be held to having to obtain an easement to address the sidewalk condition in the zoning.
We understand. Okay, no easement. All righty. Hopefully, everything is into the record. I know Attorney Jordan is writing furiously, trying to get everything. Do we have any additional comments, questions, concerns? If not, all those in favor of approving item 26-114 with the special stipulations that were read into the record, we will see everything in writing before we sign. All those in favor of approving this item with the special stipulations, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 26-114 is approved with the special stipulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, our next item is item number 26-115. Says to consider a request for a variance from section 3.07.b of the Unified Development Ordinance to increase the maximum principal building height from 35 feet to 45 feet for 4.7 acres located at 7061 Arbor Parkway in Land Lot 160, District 2, Section 5, Parcel ID 0080. Application by Pivotal Housing Partners. Mr. Gray.
The only update I have for this one is that fire is aware of the increased height, and they're approving that they can access everything that they need to.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you getting that clarification for us for this week. Okay. Madam Mayor, Council, do we have additional questions or comments on this particular item?
I do,
Yes,
Madam
ma'am.
Chair. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Gray. I know you checked with the fire department, and Fire Chief Dr. Allen is here. And we do have other buildings that are 45 feet, correct?
If I remember correctly, there was a metal building that was
The metal.
roughly that, metal fabrication of some
Yes.
sort, yeah.
And this one sits down in a little ravine, kind of, sort of, so it's 45, but it wouldn't look that tall because it's kind of on a,
It's a little up.
It's a
not
little
up a lot, but yeah.
okay. So but it's safe. The fire chief says it's safe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I know we had another building, I just can't remember. I think the people were from Germany or somewhere, but it was that fabrication building.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, and it was
Wires
like
or
a
something.
fire or something, and it was something inside of it. Okay, that's all I have, Madam Chair, thank you.
Oh, absolutely, thank you so much. Okay, and did the applicant have anything to add to that? Okay. With that being said, I make a motion then that we approve item number 26-115 as presented.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, I have a motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved by Councilmember Miller in Chair and second by Councilmember Estes to approve item 26-115. Do we have any additional comments, questions, concerns, any issues from council? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 26-115 is approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Okay, this next item is item number 26-117. It says to consider a request for variance from section 8.01 of the Unified Development Ordinance to reduce the required parking from 2 spaces per dwelling unit plus 1 additional space for every 4 units to 1.5 spaces per unit for 4.7 acres located on 7061 Arbor Parkway and Land Lot 160, District 2, Section 5, Parcel ID 0080, application by Pivotal Housing Partners. Mr. Gray.
So I do have an update for this petition. During Thursday's meeting, the applicant did mention different statistics, age, the number of parking, the calculation of the parking. He mentioned 3 projects that they have done. So before you have a copy of the PowerPoint they had, and then 3 individual pages for those developments that they did do. So Mayor Robinson, you had asked for those stats, so those are before you now.
Did everyone get a chance to look over that? Okay. And then because we put the special step on the parking in the first zoning, we would not have to clarify on this last one, right? There's no reason to. Just want to, I felt like that was the answer, but I just wanted to verify. Okay. Okay. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay.
Madam Chair, before you proceed, Ms. Jordan, if during the development plan process, the parking count has to be recalculated due to the stipulations, will they have to come back for this item?
Yes, they would,
Okay,
for the variance only.
okay.
Okay. So proceed with adding it to it, though.
It's your choice. Just note that during the development plan process, based on the added addition of the 10 handicap parking spaces, and they're requesting the variance, if the parking count does not shake out, they will have to come back before you for this item.
Well, we've already put it in one, so let's just double down. Okay. Do we have questions or comments on this particular item? Yes, ma'am, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, Madam Chairman. I just wanted to thank Mr. Gray and the applicant for providing this information. I see that you have given us 3 of your facilities in Pennsylvania and 2 cities in Ohio where it does say that you done. I just thought you would need more spaces. If it's 54, I thought at least 54, but I guess when you get a little bit older, you have to get your license taken away, or maybe you're sharing with your husband or your spouse or something, so. But you have proven the data, so thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Gray. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor. Okay, anyone else? All right, did the applicant have anything to add to that? And if you'll give us your name and address for the record one more time, please.
Charlie Pendergraft, address 693 Glenwood Ave, Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30312. I just want to be clear, so the total all-in would be 1.5 spaces per unit, right? Total spaces, correct?
Not about this a minute ago.
I'm just making sure, yeah.
No, you're right.
I put 91 on here because that's how many we could fit.
Nobody said
which is
there'd be math at this job.
No, but you're right. Like, I thought about this before we came in here, and then it did not cross my mind again until I just said that. That's not going to work.
No, it does. So we have, if it's 54 units times 1.5, it's going to be 81 spaces that would be required.
Okay.
We're able to fit 91, so we can accommodate the extra handicapped as is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just being clear.
Well, I'm glad that you're up on your math, because I really, in my head, was like, oh, we're about to have to backpedal a little bit. Okay.
No problem.
Thank you for that clarification. Anyone else? Okay. Well, with that being said, I make a motion that we approve item number 26-117 with the condition of the increased handicap spaces to 10.
Thank you so much, Madam Chairman. I have a motion to approve item 26-117 with the special stipulation of the handicap accessibility spaces to 10, a count of 10. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 26-117 with the special stipulations that were read by the chair. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or concerns in regards to the parking spaces? Thank you, council. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 26-117 is unanimously approved with the special stipulations as read by the chair.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That is all that we have this evening for planning and development.
Ma'am, you have the next committee as well, Public Improvement and Beautification Committee, chaired by Councilmember Miller N.
Yes, ma'am. We have no business this evening for public improvement and beautification.
Thank you, ma'am. Public Relations Committee, chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
Yes, no business this time, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Councilman Davis. Public Safety, chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have one item this evening, number 26-128. Hold a public hearing to consider a request for an alcoholic beverage license for the retail package sale of wine and malt beverages at the following establishment. Proposed licensee, Allure Capital LLC, DBA Spark by Hilton. Location 8304 Cherokee Boulevard, Douglasville, Georgia, 30134. Proposed agent outlet manager, Kush Patel. The required fees have been paid to the Finance Department. And if Mr. Patel would like to come down. I know we discussed this a little bit on Thursday. Do you have anything new to add?
No, sir. Good evening.
And actually, would you give your name and address for the record, please?
Kush Patel, 881 South Park Street, Carrollton, Georgia, 30117.
Thank you. So nothing new right now. Then we will hold a public hearing, which I will open now. And anyone wanting to speak either in favor or in opposition to this item, please come forward. Seeing nobody, I will close the public hearing. And does anybody have any questions or comments for the applicant? Seeing none, then I would like to make a motion to approve item 26-128.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. It's been properly moved in second, moved by the chair, Councilmember Estes, and second, Councilmember Davis, to approve item 26-128. Do we have any questions, concerns, or comments from Mr. Patel as relates to this item? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 26-128 is unanimously approved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Patel, and thank you, Madam Mayor. That is all we have tonight for the Public Safety Committee.
Thank you so much. Councilman Estes. We'll move on to Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee. Vice Chair is Councilmember Miller In.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Turn that on. Thank you, Madam Mayor. And we have no business this evening for Recreation, Culture, and Tourism.
Thank you, ma'am. Technology Committee, chaired by Councilmember DeVitron Caldwell.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business on the Technology Committee tonight.
Thank you, sir. Transportation Committee, chaired by Councilmember Elena Hudson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Transportation Committee this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Do we have any other business to come before council tonight from the elected officials? I don't see any hands. Okay, thank you all so much. We'll move on to updates from our city staff, our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Our staff attorney, Ms. Miranda Jordan.
No business, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Our police department, Deputy Chief J.R. Davison.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. And our city manager, Ms. Marcia Frazier. I know you have the June 11th event that we wanted to raise attention to, but our city manager.
Yes, ma'am. You all should have received an email from Kristen Tate. The email is in regards to a One Douglas Education Summit that's being hosted by the Douglas County School System in partnership with Douglas County and the city of Douglasville to provide education to all of its elected leadership in the county about what each individual jurisdiction is doing. So city staff will be there presenting, as well as other staff members from each other jurisdiction to provide education and points of awareness about what's going on with each entity within the county. So your presence is requested. I know it is a council day. It is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. that day. June 11th, yes. Further details will come once I get a copy of the full program.
Okay, thank you so much, city manager. You have anything else? Okay. Comments from citizens and delegates. If you sustain the meeting and you'd like to speak to us, please come forward. Give us your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to talk to us about any business germane to the city of Douglasville. No takers? Okay, if we don't have any other business, then this meeting is adjourned.
Mayor, I have one.
Go ahead, Councilman Davis. I don't want to run over you.
I just need to bring this to the attention of the citizens.
Yes, sir.
Longtime resident John W. Stewart passed over the weekend.
Oh, no.
The Stewart Middle School name in his honor.
Yes,
So he was up there in age.
he was.
John W. Stewart passed over the weekend.
Oh, wow. Thank you for
And one
telling
of our
us.
former employees passed over the weekend, Mr. Brian Logan. So keep the family in prayers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman Davis. We'll definitely be praying and keeping them in our thoughts and prayers and sending out condolences, especially to Mr. Stewart. He's very well known and highly regarded in the community. Stewart Middle School and the high school had the new freshman academy is named for him as well, Mr. Stewart. Thank you, Councilman Davis. Any other comments, concerns? Not having any other business, then this meeting is adjourned.